So this is what we're going to have to deal with on Saturday. Tidy. Hi guys, so welcome to Donnerstag Gills. I hope you're all very well at the moment, and obviously through this pandemic I hope everyone is safe, and I hope you're all behaving as well, and sticking to the regulations in your area, and keeping everyone safe as well. So let's cut to the chase, and let's reflect a little bit what happened last weekend at Shrewsbury. Now I had a little bit of time to reflect on this game, and actually on reflection I do think we were probably a slightly better team. However, I think the conditions had a lot to play in this game. However, you know, both teams have the conditions to deal with. But I think we were quite unlucky in definitely going up front. But I would also argue that we were quite lucky in defence occasionally as well. And for example, I want to show you obviously the clip that you probably all have seen with Dominic Samuel's shot in the second half. Let's have a little quick check here. And this here is one of the best goal line clearance. Actually, no, it's the second best goal line clearance of this game. And it's an absolute peach as well. I just want to say what a great ball that is from the right-hand side as well. But look at this. It's a great block from Van Dane Oliver on the line. Absolutely top stuff, top defensive work. And that was kind of the game in a nutshell, really. It was a bit sloppy in places. No one could really get going. Both Shrewsbury and the Gills were. It was really found it hard to find their feet. And their goal that they created, was just from a corner, from a set piece. And ultimately, our equaliser was also from a set piece as well. But the reason I say that was the second best. That was the second best goal line clearance of the game, was because of this. Hopefully I could find it randomly. Is this the one here? It might not be. It might be. Let's have a quick check. Yeah, I believe it is. That right there. Is it Eccles on the line, making the best goal line clearance of the game, keeping us in it. And I just want to say, actually, as well, that Eccles has proved to be a really good signing for us from Coventry. He's been really consistent so far the last few games. And, you know, he's showing there that he can also be a defensive midfielder as well as moving forward as well. So I'm pretty content with how he's playing at the moment. But to be honest, there wasn't really much to say about the Shrewsbury game. I think it's one of those games where actually I'm really pleased we dug out a point out of that game. You know, Shrewsbury's not an easy place to go to, but particularly with the conditions as well. And actually, you know, both goals came from a set piece, and we conceded obviously from a corner. Good header, by the way, from the Shrewsbury player. And obviously we had this last-minute goal that I was so happy we scored. I thought the game had been... it was put to bed, it was over, Shrewsbury were going to win. But, you know, Graham, what a signing. In the right place, at the right time. Bit of anticipation, and puts it in the top left-hand corner. I mean, all game we were just waiting for that moment, for the ball to land in the right place at the right time, and to get one shot away. That was our only shot on target, apparently, the whole game. Arguably that one which was blocked on the line by Van Dane Oliver and was shot by Samuel. I think that was also on target. It was definitely clipping the post. But that was our only shot on target. And overall, I'm pretty happy with a 1-1 draw, to be fair. And as a result, what it's done is put us in 6th position on the table. Now, again, obviously, we don't have to look at the table this early, but I want to show you the table at the moment, because actually there's a few little shocks that I think so far happened. Again, Lincoln City are top of the table, and we have at the moment we're in 6th position. Like I said, if the season was to end now, brilliant. You know, it's playoff position. Obviously, that's not going to happen. Well, if it does happen, it's because of the virus. We don't want that to happen, obviously. But yeah, you know, I'm pretty happy with sitting in 6th. Usually at this time of the season we're looking down here and hopefully we can get a couple of points to get mid-table, but actually we're sitting quite nicely at 6th at the moment. And yeah, I'm pretty pleased with the progress we've made. Played 4, won 2, drawn 1, lost 1. 7 points. Can't be sniffed at, I think, and actually it's a pretty solid start to the season, particularly with the October run that we're going through, with a lot of games within the October period. Also, one thing I just want to say, looking back at that Shrewsbury game, actually, I want to highlight one of Shrewsbury's players who's been a really good loan signing from the season, is Fossey, and I think they've got him on loan for the season from Fulham, who's, I think, American left, right back? One of the two, anyway, can't quite remember. But he looked really, really good for Shrewsbury, and I think he'll do a lot of good work this season. So I just want to say, actually, Fossey was my highlight player for the Shrewsbury Town team for that game at the weekend. But for the Gills team, my highlight player, I'm not quite sure. I think actually, if we look at the defence again, I think it was pretty solid again. I mean, obviously, the goal that we conceded wasn't great. It was a header that was, unmarked. It was out-muscled. But actually, it was quite nice. Drysdale come on the pitch, got a yellow card, and he looks like the kind of player that will pick up a yellow card every time that he plays. So, I'm not too fussed about that. Put his dominance there. As long as he doesn't get sent off, that's what we don't want to happen. But, no, I definitely thought the defence played well under the conditions. And obviously, Graham with the goal, I think, that was, for me, they were the highlight moments of the game. But actually, overall, as you can tell, me was trying to struggle to get anything out of this. It was kind of a drab 1-1 draw game, and I think I just want to leave it at that. So obviously, over the weekend, last weekend, there was a shock result in the Premier League where Liverpool had lost 7-2 to Aston Villa. And Steve Evans, I just wonder, what do you think Jurgen Klopp said to his Liverpool players at half-time about the game?
Don't get involved in it. Stay away from it.
Can't argue with that. So on Saturday, we welcomed to Priestfield the Stanless Boffins of Oxford United, and this is what I have to say about it. The first thing I want to say is our recent history against Oxford United has not been most handsome, and if you look at the current history of us against them, you can see here that actually since 2011 we've only beaten them twice. And we've played them a good handful of times. What's that, 12, 13 times? And actually, prior to that, 2010 back to 1999, we played them pretty well. But actually, in the recent history, Oxford United have been a team that have been trying to get out of League One into the Championship consistently, but haven't quite made it at the end of each season. And I expect them to be doing something similar this season as well. They haven't started actually the season very, very well. We'll look at the league table in a minute. But actually, in terms of all history, we've actually won 18 games against them and lost 14 and drawn 15. But actually, the recent history suggests that we always seem to struggle against Oxford United. The last time we won was 1-0 in 2019, 9th of March, and that was at home. But when we often go away to Oxford, we often do really, really struggle. Actually, one of the games that I want to highlight, I think it was in 2010. It's this one here when we won 1-0 away from them. I think this was the game where we've ended our away losing or non-winning streak, which was like over a season, and we ended it at Oxford United. I think even maybe it was a Cody McDonald goal that won us the game. And that was obviously in League Two, so that's right, yeah. But yeah, our recent history against Oxford has not been that great, and you may even consider them to a certain extent a bogey team. So I am slightly apprehensive about what to expect on the weekend. Now, if we look at the table at the moment, we can see that Oxford are sitting not so pretty in 18th position, having played 3 games, won 1, lost 2. However, their game last week against Crewe Alexandria was postponed. I didn't find out why, but their game before that, they won their first game of the season against Accrington Stanley. And I'm just going to show you 1 or 2 of the goals from that game. So this is the first one that they scored, and it's a little bit fortunate, this one. You'll see what I mean with the deflection. There you go. So arguably they're a little bit fluky with that goal there. And the other goal I wanted to show you was the one I showed you at the start of the video. I just want to say, this pass and this touch and this finish all in one motion is absolutely top quality, and that put them 3-1 up, I believe, against Accrington. So, they're pretty good side that's had a pretty poor start, and I expect Oxford, like many other teams in this league actually, to be in and around the top half of the table somewhere. It's a tough league this season, and I think that this game here against Accrington, that they showed what they're capable of. So let's take a quick look at the Oxford team, and there's 2 players that I want to highlight for the Oxford team. Now, firstly, in defence, I want to highlight Sean Clare, who actually played for us on loan for a little bit, and he's now sitting in Carl Robinson's team at Oxford. and he's played all the games, and we've had 2 starts, and he's subbed on once, and he's a pretty solid defender. We know his experience when he was with us, so it's a familiar face that we will see at the Oxford United game. The other player that I want to highlight as well is Matty Taylor, playing as a forward for Oxford. Now, he's played, I think, all the games, and he's scored already 2 this season, and has been quite active in the old attacking arena at the front of the pitch. So he's the one that we're going to have to keep an eye on. So he's a 1 right-footed goal, 1 headed goal. So far, looking like it to be an all-round forward, a complete forward, for those who play Football Manager. And so he's the other one that we need to keep an eye on at the back when we play him on Saturday. So looking at the Gills team, I think when we go to play them on Saturday, I think that I would like to keep pretty much the same squad that we had against Shrewsbury, not to change it too much, if at all. Although what I would like to see is I'd like to see Trey Coyle start a couple more games. I think at the moment he's coming on as a sub here and there, and I would like to see him get a full start in a league game to see how he can cope with it. But it's actually quite difficult at the moment when you've got Jordan Graham and Dominic Samuel and Van Dane Oliver up front. That's quite a tough. It's quite a tough place to break into, particularly when you've got Jordan Graham and Dominic Samuel firing, playing well, and Jordan Graham firing in the goals, as he scored 3 this season already. So I really think at the moment it's quite hard for him to get into the team, but I would like to see Trey Coyle start a couple of games, like from the starting position, because I think at the moment it was he had 2 starts, so I don't think he started. What I'm trying to say is I don't think he started against Shrewsbury. I would like to see him start on Saturday. If I was to replace probably Van Dane Oliver, I don't know, but he has an aerial threat, so it's probably quite a tough team to pick. But I would like to see Trey Coyle get a couple goals as well. He's only had 1 this season, but it would be nice if he got a start on Saturday. So, overall, what do I think is going to happen at the weekend? I don't really know, but what I would like to see is obviously us to get a win. I think there's going to be a couple of goals in this. I think our defence, again, will be a little bit leaky. We need to make sure we're on form to be able to get a result from this game, because as we've seen in the history, Oxford can be a bit of our bogey team. However, I think realistically speaking, I can see a draw in this game again, maybe 1-1, or do you know what, even a 0-0 I possibly could see. But knowing the fact that we're likely to concede against Oxford because they put 4 past Accrington, there's likely to be a couple of goals. So I think I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw like we were against Shrewsbury. I was my last prediction against Shrewsbury, which was just to win 1-0. I knew it would be a low-scoring game, and it was, but it was 1-1. I think this could be a low-scoring game, but I would like 1-1. I would probably take. However, if we get hit 2 or 3-0, you know what, against Oxford, I kind of would expect that for some reason. There's something in me that tells me that could be the case. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. It's been a bit of a short video this time, but I hope you enjoyed. And just remember, on Saturday in the UK, the game kicks off at 1 o'clock, not your standard 3 o'clock. And a lot of games now are moving from the EFL from a 3 o'clock kickoff to a 1 o'clock kickoff. So in the UK, making sure that you are signing in at the right time at 1 o'clock. For me, that's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So stay safe, stay healthy, protect your family, protect everyone around you. Keep that mask on if you have to. And, of course, Donnerstag Gills. Oh, and just one thing. You do know that I don't do this video all in one take. And then I do bloopers like this. Firstly, I want to say that actually, in recent history, our record against Blackpool...